Okay, who's ready for some platforming at great heights with terrible controls and long consequences to falling? I can't hear you. Yeah. The game emphasizes that this is a point of no return because this bridge does not lower anymore. As you pass by, you'll notice elevators coming up to your level. These activate so that if you fall all the way down, you can use them to come back up. Since this is going to be just minutes of me walking along rope bridges and hopping on elevators, and I don't really have anything interesting to say about it, but I still want to leave it in for anyone who happens to be using the video as a game guide, I'll instead talk about something else. So what are we doing here? Why are we here exactly? You probably don't know, and who could blame you? The way this game meets out plot and motivation is awful. We're here to find the way to Hamistagan, the necropolis, in order to find the Book of Naut there, which is supposed to have the secret of the weapon the legendary hero Cuchulainn used to nearly destroy Astaroth. After that, we'll find Cuchulainn himself, get the weapon, and confront Astaroth. But the unused dialogue pulled from the game shows that a lot was cut from this last section of Omikron. And weirdly, if you sort through the game's models and textures, they show almost nothing not used in the game, which I guess means they either didn't get started on the cut content, or maybe they actually had to remove it to make room. The game came on 3 CDs, which is considerable and inconvenient for an open-world adventure. Anyway, the original end would have had you go through this city and to Hamistagan, where you retrieve the book, and then return the same way, delivering the book to Dagobah at the Awakened base. Then you would have gone outside the dome of Omikron, through a snowy land to reach the place where Cuchulainn was hiding. You'd get his magic weapon and return to Omikron one last time to find that Dagobah had been kidnapped by Mashrud, the guy from Pomoka prison, and with him the Book of Naut falls into Reshev's hands. Legatee Reshev, the dictator of Omikron, is a character who was almost completely cut from the game, despite still being kind of important. The only time you ever see him is when he mutely presides over the Sha'armut tournament, and Jenna and Dagobah mention him once or twice. Other than that, he only comes up in newspapers and history books if you trouble yourself to read them. Originally, after you find out Dagobah's been kidnapped, Boz would have asked you to lead a revolutionary attack on Reshev's palace in the scrap district Nagatane. In the palace, you would have found a room that was the top part of the Sha'armut tournament where Reshev oversaw the fighting. According to the dialogue, you'd face Mashrud in the palace in either a hand-to-hand fight or a shootout. Afterwards, you'd meet Reshev himself, who would deliver a cliched speech about thanking you for delivering the Book of Naut into his hands and how Dagobah was his guest. Then he'd stick his minion Zar on you, who was presumably the same character you faced last at the Sha'armut tournament. After you defeat Zar, Reshev would rush into an elevator and go down to the room where you'd find the supercomputer Ix, who runs Omikron. Ix would kill Reshev before you arrive. Ix would then explain to you how it was reprogrammed by Astaroth to serve him. It looked like you were gonna pull a weird trick to defeat Ix by presenting yourself as Ix, maybe by use of a spell, or possessing someone. The dialogue isn't entirely clear on that. And I guess after beating Ix, you'd go further down below the palace and find Astaroth there. The weirdest thing is you'll find that the entire ending to the game was pretty much written and completed with that whole scrap section in mind. I kind of like that actually, because it means they at least worked on the ending along with the rest of the game, instead of leaving it for the last and then having to rush it like most game endings. Well, we're nearly at the end of this sequence. I've got a little more to talk about the scrapped ending, but we're about to get more context for that, so I'll save it for afterwards. And we reach the central stalactite. What's up, guys? Can I come in? Here's another person whose face is trying to escape their face.
The spirits of the dead predicted your coming. So, you are the Nomad Soul, announced by the prophecy. Looking at you, it's hard to believe that you are going to change the fate of our universe.
Who are you?
I am Soyinka, the goddess queen, daughter of Matanbakus, the renegade sorcerer. I am the last great master of the ancient art, still living on this planet.
What is this place?
You are in the Azkeel city of Mayrim. In the temple, the Azkeels have raised to my glory.
The Azkeels?
The Azkeels are the beings who live here. They built this city to protect themselves from the dangers of the catacombs. They live in peace, far from humans.
Where did the Azkeels come from?
The Tetra Trust wanted to create beings capable of resisting extreme working conditions in extraterrestrial mines. The Azkeels are the result of their failed experiments. They managed to escape before Tetra could destroy them. They took refuge in the catacombs.
Can you help me find the book of Naut?
I suspected you were looking for the Book of Naut. The terrible secrets it contains have attracted many men before you. None have ever come back alive.
Do you know where the book is?
The Book of Naut is in the Hamishtagan necropolis, the city of the dead.
What part of the necropolis is it in?
I don't know exactly. All I know is that the magicians of the ancient art took it with them to their last resting place, in order to make sure it never fell into the hands of men. 1,000 traps and spells protect it from human greed. Only a very exceptional being could acquire it.
Where is Hamishtagan?
A passage in the rock, not far from Mayrim, will give you access to Hamishtagan. Find yourself a sham and you will be able to go there.
Thanks for your assistance, Goddess Queen Soyinka. I shall succeed or die trying.
I pray to Vayagramuka that you may be the one announced in the prophecy. Go now. Go to embrace your destiny. The fate of Omikron is in your hands.
Yikes, the game's so bad with these huge lore dumps. I'm suddenly introduced to this subterranean race of former space slaves who are now apparently slaves to this super pale lady and her adventurous face, and in 5 minutes I'll never see them again. Part of that is because so much stuff was cut and rearranged. Do you know where I can find a sham?
Need sham? Go see photo. Photos from near 2 points. Sure to help.
Thanks. Maybe it's a good thing I'll be leaving these guys behind. Jesus. We'll take the quick way down. So, in the version of the game we got, the Azkeel City is just a weird place you pass through on your way to the end. But going by the unused dialogue that Stupid extracted from the game, it would have been a lot more elaborate. There would have been vendors here that didn't accept SEDEX, but something called Carol shells for currency, which you would have been able to dive up from the water below. Also, you would have come back here. After getting the Book of Naut from Hamastagan, you take it back to Soyinka, who would then give you the support of the Azkeel, and a talisman you could somehow use to signal the Azkeel to rise from the catacombs and fight alongside the Awakened. Now this must be Photo's farm. Are you Photo?
Photo be my name. Welcome to Photo's home, Nomad Soul. Mega honor for me to receive Nomad Soul.
Yes, mega honor to you too.
Photo do for Nomad Soul?
I need a sham to get to Hamastagan.
To help Nomad Soul is be great honor for Photo. Take sham, present from Photo to Nomad Soul.
Can you show me the way to Hamastagan?
Take split in rock not far away. That be way to Hamastagan. Don't go there. Too dangerous. Place for dead. You die if you go there.
Tell me, Photo, what are the tins of stinking liquid all around the farm for?
That be the Klebon to keep Krubors away from shams. Krubors like eat shams. The Klebon smell so stink they stay away. That way no problem. Most important, you stay away from the Klebon. Deadly poison. Kill you straight away.
Okay, I'll try to remember. Zeklebon is an obvious anagram of Cyclone B, which is a joke? I'm honestly not sure how I feel about that. Well, let's get on a sham. Oh, he doesn't like it. The sham won't let me climb on.
Photo not think of this. Shams very untrusting. First know you, then let you mount. Catacomb shams never see human like you. Photo sorry, but journey to Hamastagan not possible. No mount.
But I absolutely must find the sham to take me to Hamastagan.
Photo cannot help. Sorry, must be Azkeel in order to mount sham.
So I have to be Azkeel, do I? Okay. Now this is the lowest point of the game. Even 20 years ago, when it felt kind of acceptable for games to get sleazy or gross, I was kind of shocked by this. I mean, yeah, it's just a video game, but I always try to empathize a little with the characters in a story. This just... My character, in the body they stole, has to commit suicide in order to trick Photo, is coming over to see if I'm okay, into letting me steal his body. Why didn't the reincarnation spell work on him? The game doesn't say. Genuinely awful. Photo is 287 years old and has quite high stats. Oh, I can't get on this sham. Okay, so in the extracted dialogue, there's lines for your character talking to Photo after vacating his body and thanking him for it, which means that you were originally supposed to be able to safely return bodies to the original owners, or at least Photo. Taking that out makes the game so much worse. I'm a monster, a vampire concerned only with his own survival in this supposedly vibrant and lively world. And what makes it even worse? You only need the sham to push this boulder out of the way, then you get off and proceed on foot. Why couldn't you just ask Photo to get on a sham and help you do this? Does the Nomad Soul have terrible social anxiety? It's likely there was a longer section beyond this where you'd ride the sham, since there was the shot in the intro of the sham riders walking through the snow. Ah well, who cares? Oh no, it's a Krubor. I am vaguely interested why the Viagramuka godhead looked like a Krubor. Oh, bit of slowdown. Let's have an extended martial arts fight with this savage creature. The stupid thing is, the outcome of this fight absolutely doesn't matter. If you lose, you simply reincarnate into the crewbore. Who, by the way, is still floating above the floor, just like the one in the Shawarma tournament. Oh hey, we landed. Shineless. Better stats than Photo, actually. This was a trade up. And now we've already reached the necropolis. Guess what? This is gonna be more awkward platforming in first-person mode. Oh, my health is actually pretty low. I guess that's one downside of losing the fight. Get rid of the devil dogs. There are some ghosts around, but they're not a problem right now. I would really think I'd have to use the power rod against these dogs, but it doesn't do anything, only the waver gun does. Meet the Book of Nout.
I hear you, mortal. Ask your question.
I'd like to know if there's a way to kill Astaroth.
Toward the end of the Cobalt Wars, when humans and beings were engaged in a merciless struggle, magicians came to consult the dead. They wanted to know how to kill Astaroth. The dead answered that the only way was to bring together the souls of all the magicians of Feynod in a magic sword. That sword would have enough mana power to destroy Astaroth forever.
Why wasn't Astaroth killed by the magic sword?
The leader of the humans was a brave and strong hero called Kushule. The magic sword Bakayal was
To pronounce it correctly, I would have to pull out your tongue.
In combat. For 7 days and 7 nights, they fought. Then the two fighters fell down from exhaustion. When the humans saw Astaroth lying lifeless, they locked him in a cage of Etherlander and threw it into a lake of lava. When Kushalan recovered, he realized that he had lost his only chance of destroying Astaroth forever.
What did Kushalan do?
Full of bitterness and vexation because of his terrible failure, he withdrew to a small temporal island with Bakaya. Ever since then, he has awaited the coming of a new hero to demand the sword and accomplish its destiny. Legend has it that a Nomad Soul will come from another universe to take up the challenge.
Which option gets me through this dialogue fastest? Where is Kushalan now?
His temporal island is somewhere beyond the dome of Omikron, lost in frozen wastes in a place called Mahahali.
What happened to the souls of the sorcerers shut inside Bakayal?
The souls of the sorcerers will remain imprisoned inside the sword until Astaroth dies or the sword is destroyed.
What must I do to kill Astaroth?
Go to Mahahalil and ask Kushilen for Bakayal. In order to destroy Astaroth forever, you must plant the magic sword in his heart.
To reach the island beyond time, incantations, you must chant for Ghost 3. Beware of the evil spirits on the line, for they can damn your soul for free. Jesus, whoever had to make that rhyme was not feeling it that day. So, now we need to open 3 tombs that contain the spirits of, I think, ancient sorcerers, who can help us get to Mahahalil. There is no indication whatsoever which tombs these are, and opening the wrong tomb confronts you with an angry ghost trying to kill you. The ghosts floating around the necropolis are all now shooting at me, and someone thought it made more sense to have them take damage from the waver gun than from the magical demon killing gun. Fuck. Also, it's real easy to accidentally slide off the top parts and takes some doing to get back up. Okay, round 2. That's 1. Damn, nice anchors. The extracted dialogue implies the gameplay in Hamastagan was far more puzzle-oriented than the combat and platform as we got. To find the Book of Doubt, you would have had to do fetch quests for the ghosts of ancient sorcerers, like finding some books of magic for one and delivering the skull of another one's dead wife. That's 2. Yikes. The third one is trickiest. You have to take this back path. Oh, look at that. A medikit in this ancient city of the dead. Once again, thanks to Stupid for describing how to find these tombs, which shaves like a half hour of searching off of it. That's 3. And boom, we're sent to Mahahalil in the snow. Join me next time when we put this baby to bed.